We got married in June of 2021, and about 6 months after that, we decided we wanted to start trying to have kids. And it took us about a little over 6 months until we were successful at getting pregnant, but we unfortunately lost that attempt in May of 2022, and then our second attempt in September of 2022, and then our third attempt in January of 2023. We originally went to Georgia, but it ended up just going to be too expensive and hard to travel. So then we decided to do IVF with Alabama Fertility in their satellite clinic in Montgomery. And we are now, I'll take my 6th rounds of shots tonight.
What did you think when you first heard about this ruling?
It was a scary thing. We got the green light to start our meds on Friday, which was the same day that the ruling was made. And then we found out about that just like the next day from a friend, and we started going through all of the social media, reading about that IVF could potentially stop here. And we just through the weekend kind of trekked on, try to digest as best as we could, but doomsday prep too. We started thinking about what we would do if our clinic shut down.
Yeah, I mean, it just injected so much uncertainty and anxiety into our situation. We just started freaking out about, are we going to be able to continue, and have we wasted all this time and money already in
Mhm.
in anxiety? Yeah.
I had to detach myself from the idea that embryo are children a long time ago when we were going through this process, and our doctor told us that we are going to lose a majority of them in just the IVF process. That's natural. You're going to lose a lot of eggs are not going to come out to being normal, and then some won't fertilize, and then some are not going to make it to the process of even being frozen. Just they'll naturally die off. And if I viewed each of those ones as children, that means that I would have lost just in the IVF process a lot of children. But that's the natural, baby making IVF process. So emotionally, I can't view them as children. They're potential children, and they hold a lot of possibilities. But in my view, they're just possibilities. Originally, we both said when we started the IVF process, I was actually very worried about having people know that I was going through IVF. I didn't want any of my friends to know. I didn't want really any of my family to know. I asked everybody who did know to please keep it quiet. And then when I saw this ruling, I got very angry and very hurt that it could potentially stop my cycle. And I just said, people need to know that this is affecting couples, real life couples who are trying to start families, who are just trying to live the quote unquote American dream. And you're stopping us from having a child. We're not trying to hurt embryos. I don't want to go into a clinic and destroy everybody's possibilities. I just want my right to have a child to be protected. And they view protecting embryos as important, but what about our chance of having a family? Shouldn't that be protected as well? And I would ask them to take a look at our story and how hard of a decision this was for us to even get here, and to ask themselves if they can look at us and tell us to stop what we're doing.